Greetings and salutations.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Body Magick. This is our tea and talk. I don't know. I'm yelling right now.
We're so excited to see you.
We've had so much tea. This is a lesson in how not to over caffeinate. And it's weird that we started a tea and talk series on Mercury, the day Mercury went into retrograde. But we'll get into that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Not later. Like, we're not going to talk about it, but let's pretend. So today we are going to talk about
the body as a magical vessel.
Yes. Mm-hmm. How is the body magical, Ilyra?
Well, all kinds of ways, really. But
Tell us about it.
So I think, for me anyway, the idea of the body being a magical vessel, or body magic, as it were, is that it allows me to experience on a very deeply personal level my spiritual practice in a tangible way. It's using my body as kind of like a connection point between my spiritual practice and the real world, as it were. And it gives me a lot more self-awareness that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think there are different ways. So I have a lot of physical trauma and I'm an empath. So I take on sometimes energies that aren't mine and they get stuck in my body. And so for me, the magical process is like finding those things and releasing it. Sometimes my movement practice feels like prayer. We set an intention, we move through that intention, we dedicate our energy and ourselves to that intention, and a prayer is essentially an intention. A strongly held intention. And then also the way that we move our body shifts our energy field, and it shifts the energy in a room. And so moving through those things feels incredibly magical because it's not something, it's something intangible within something tangible.
Definitely.
And that you can almost feel, or you can feel, that you move your body a certain way and it's turned a key in a lock, and you just open something new, and that's been released into the world, or that you can like take something that's within you and release it out. That with our movements and with our consciousness we can do these things. Right. Is really, really super magical to me.
Definitely, like the body as an art form or an expression is pretty intense, I think. There are other like dancers, for instance, or people who practice, dancers are crazy to me. But it's a beautiful way to make tangible emotions and thoughts. You're kind of in here, right? It's like you wear this body around, and there's that whole idea of body, mind, and spirit being able to be unified. But I think the biggest presenter of that is your body, because that's the tangible part.
Right. And so many like spiritual or occult practices really cover the mind and the spirit. But I always feel like, and again, maybe it's because I'm an empath, like because I feel things in my body, but I always feel like it's never, like I'm always going to hit a wall unless I do the body work. And there are times when I avoid doing the body work because I'm like,
it's gonna hurt a little bit.
This is like work that I'm going to have to do. And but it's all part of, like, it's a tool. And then it's also a tool you can use in ritual. So like, originally and initially a sauna was for sitting in meditation for prolonged periods of time. It prepared your body to sit in meditation for long periods of time. And so that can't be forgotten, right? That it is a preparation for sustained periods of going within, of exploring your consciousness. And for us, and we do journey work, so that is a space where you need a certain level of clarity, and you also have to move yourself out of the way. And so if you're working through the body and you get rid of those things, or you at least release them, or if you lift those energies away for a period of time, it gives you a better space to do that work,
right?
To journey, and have more clarity in your journeys.
Yeah, I think if you think of the body as like this incredibly capable machine, if it's well oiled and well loved, then it will run a little bit more efficiently on its own, which leaves so much more energy for what you do with your mind and what you do with your spirit.
Yeah.
But in the same vein, you can also pull that back in and wear it around with you. I know, for instance, when we do something that's really, really deep and really, really intense shadow work, I know I'm going to feel it in my arms and I'm going to feel it in my back, because that's where I carry so much of my tension to protect myself. So in exploring the way that my relationship with that tension is released through the kind of journey work that we do, it allows me to understand better how else I can release parts of myself and call that kind of spirituality into my body.
Yeah. And it's a great metaphor, that like tension is like anxiety. So it wants to help you. It wants to help you. It wants to protect you.
It thinks it's doing its best.
It's doing its best. It's in the fairies, it's the bodacious Bodak.
Yeah.
Who is this like well-meaning helper that kind of gets it wrong all the time. And so, you know, as you scan through your body, you can sort of say like, thanks, buddy, but you don't need to be here right now. We can let you go because I'm safe and I know what I'm doing. And the more you practice and the more you know your body, you actually know that you are safe. And so you are able to give a proven reinforcement, or a proven kind of, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like it helps you stand stronger in yourself in all of those aspects.
Yeah.
When you are, it helps you to unify. Like when you know that safety within your physical self, you experience that safety in your journey work or in your spirituality.
Yes.
Because you are there for yourself. You've shown up for yourself and you're aware of what your limitations are. And you're aware of what you can comfortably push through.
Yeah, and we know that the body speaks to us. There's so many different sayings out there, and I'm gonna forget all of them right now. Like trust your gut is the only one I can think of right now.
The body remembers.
The body remembers, all of that, and so, you know, and I've written about this to do with Body Magick, where it's like Body Magick is teaching you the language of your body. So that when the body has a message for you, you're going to know how to translate that language. Where a lot of us walk around with a disconnect between body and mind and then inevitably spirit.
Right.
So the more you work through the body and understand its language, that's only going to help with psychic impressions or whatever else. Like it just continues to, your knowledge of your body continues to upgrade your other skills and abilities in the mind, in the more ethereal
But
realm as well.
It's not easy work, or it is for some people, but it's not something you, coming into a practice, a physical practice, is not necessarily the kind of thing that you're just gonna see gains and results and stuff like that. It's not necessarily the kind of thing that you'll be able to photograph, but it's definitely something that's worn within, that you'll be able to experience it. It adds to your human experience in a different way.
Dang,
I think.
like that.
Yeah, but
you
it's
can't photograph.
so beneficial.
Yeah. So we are out of time. We would like to hear from you about your experiences with your body and how it's magical to you. New perspectives on that are really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
let us know in the comments, and we'll see you soon. But finger guns?
Yeah.
Okay.